Hello, I'm Jesse Chase, and this is How Horses Think. Today we're going to talk about mental focus and training the horse to stay in the side of the brain that we want them in. We've all been taught that horses have two brains, one on the right, one on the left. And what I want to do for the purpose of preparation to show, for the purpose of tuning that horse into me, is I want to train my horses to stay in the side of the brain I tell them to be in. I start this with my babies in an exercise I call bending to focus. And what I'm going to do is pick a geographically small area, try and balance it on my arena. And every time this horse switches focus, see his ears leave me, his head leave me, his eyes went to the outside, I can watch all of that. I'm simply going to bend that horse and allow him to come back to my work area. There again, he left me again. I'll bend him and come back again. So I'll keep doing this, keep working this exercise until there he left me. We're going to bend and come back. We're going to bend and come back. So there's two things that'll make me bend this horse and draw him back. One, he left, his mental focus left me, or he physically leaves my working area. I'm bending him, coming back to my work area. Good. Now if I take that bend like there and he didn't soften to it, I will ride him forward keeping my bend until I feel him soften. So there he just left me, bend him, ride him back to that work area. And bend him, ride him back. If I get really bored, and horse training is boring, it's a lot of repetition, I will actually sort of trick him into leaving. Maybe ride a little harder going forward. Ride as if I'm asking him to leave, and then I will draw him back. There he was a little stiff on that right rein, so I might ride forward while I do that again. And all of this is just in an effort. There he switched again, we're going to come back. To train this horse that he's not allowed to switch from his right brain to his left rein unless I ask him to do that. And this is a great place on these youngsters when you're sort of beyond the point of lunging them before you ride them. This is, you get the same effect as lunging them. You get to knock a little energy out, but at the same time you're just working that brain, training that horse to geographically stay in his work area that he's not allowed to leave, and that his brain needs to stay with you. Now I want to go over what we want to do when we want to change direction. So by doing this bend to focus exercise, as this horse gets a stronger attention span, stays with me better, stays on his job to the right, what'll start to happen is he'll quit switching from his right brain and trying to look to the left, and he'll maybe just come to the middle, to a forward position. So I like to have 3 gears in my horse's brain. I want a right focus brain, I want a forward position, which he's actually switched into beautifully for this video, and then I want to be able to take him to a left focused position. Now sometimes somebody will come ride with me and they'll be on a youngster or a green horse, and they'll tell me, oh yeah, I've been trotting a lot of figure eights. I cringe when I hear that. At this stage of the game, their attention span is so weak, typically, that simply flopping that brain from left to right, over and over again is just training a negative. It's training that horse how not to focus. You're just flopping them from one side or another. I'm going to take that bend. He goes to leave my area, bend him back. He goes to leave my area, so I'm having a little trouble keeping him in this left brain focus. I'm going to take him back again. If he fights it, if he fights that bend, I'm going to ride him forward until I feel like he softens. Good. His ear's pricked off. I got to take him back again. So when I do want to switch direction, which ideally now would not be the time, but I'm going to do it anyway, I'm going to take this horse into my circle, let his brain, let me take him through one more. Left, take him through, let his brain switch to neutral. Now I'm going to switch him back to right brain focus. Absolutely critical when you're going to have a show horse. This is going to tie into your circles, your lead changes, everything you do. You need to be able to focus that horse's brain and have him stay with you until you tell him to do otherwise. And this is typically one of the last things I'm going to do right before I go through a gate to show a horse, is make sure I have that mental focus.